Hello guys. Today I'll be talking on how to compress ipv6 address and how to expand ipv6 address, how to reduce wasting of ipv6 address, and how you can know your ipv6 address in the range of your network ID. I will also be explaining to you how to configure both ipv6 address and ipv4 address on your interface, and the advantages and disadvantages of using the two address on your interface over your network. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, and share. Here I have this ipv6 address. Sorry. Yes. Here I have this ipv6 address. Now, the first question I should ask myself is, can I compress this ipv6 address? Yes, I can. How can you know if you can compress an ipv6 address and if you can't? The first thing you need to do is firstly check if there's any leading zero before the ipv6. Note, ipv6 address is 120-bit length. And the first four, each four is 16 bits. And each ipv6 address is hexadecimal digits. So which means that each one of them is one nimble, which means a nimble equals to 4 bits. So this four now is 16 bits. Is there any zero starting it? No. This four is 16 bits. Is it starting with zero? Yes. So which means this zero can be abbreviated. You remove all leading zeros. You remove the zeros. Here is 0 is 0. What do you have to do to this? All you have to do is what? Remove 1 0 1 0. Let's try it. So abbreviate. You have 2 0 0 1. This is a leading zero. Remove the zero. That gives us DB8 CAFE because there's no any zero. This 0 0 0 0 0. Multiple of zeros. All you have to do what? Pick one. 0 0. X A 2 E. Here we have a leading zeros. All you have to do what? Remove the leading zeros. That gives us 3 7 0. 7 3 3 4. We've abbreviated. But now the question is it still 8 bits? Let's check. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yes. So the next question is, can this IP address still be abbreviated? And the answer to that question is still yes. The second rule of abbreviating IP address states that if you have multiple of zeros, look at the leading zeros. Replace it with what? Double columns. So which means that I can abbreviate this to be 2001 DB8 CAFE column 8A 2E column 370 column 7334. Now, how many do we have here? Well, 1 2 3 4 5 6. We now have 6. From 8 to 6, we've abbreviated. So the next question is, can this IP address still be abbreviated? Let's check. And our right answer to that question is no. You can't abbreviate it because there's no leading zeros. That's already been abbreviated. So the next thing I will be explaining to you is how to expand it back to the way it was before. Anywhere you see 3 digits, like DB8, you should know that there's zeros has been what? Abbreviated. Just replace what? Add zeros to make it at the left-hand side to make it 4, because it must be a 16 bit. So each one before the column must be 16. And currently now we are having 12. So which means it remains 4 bits. And that 4 bits is what? Is 0. So which means here, to take it back to the way it was, all I have to do is to what? Highlight it. Control C, Control V. Now, is this up to 16 bits? Yes. DB8, this 12 bits. You need to add what? 4 bits. Just put what? Zeros. Okay, 16 bits. Every time you see dot dot, it's telling you that there's a series of zeros which have been abbreviated. So how can I know the number of zeros that have been abbreviated? Just calculate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Normally we should have gotten 8, but here we are having 6. So which means that 2 series 16 bits, which means that 16 bits of zeros have been abbreviated. So to have that back, I just have to go back there and make it 8, which is going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, column 1, 2, 3, 4. If I calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But here is 3, put 0, 8, correct? If you compare this with the initial given, you will see that it's 100% correct. This is how to compress and decompress ipv6 address. The next one I'll be explaining is how to know your subnet mask. So the next one I'll be explaining to you now is how to reduce wasting of IP addresses. And this is why I have a question here. Looking at this question, this is the IP address given. The problem is given here. It's like given the ipv6 address. This is the ipv6 address given. 2001 db8/128. Please note, the previous length is /128. Configure ipv6 for a company that needs 3 maximum and only maximum users. Please note, the ipv6 address given is prefix of 128. Now, the next question states that configure ipv6 address for a company that needs 3 maximum and only 3 maximum users. Yes. What should I do? Question 1, find the network ID. Question 2, find the address range. Question 3, what is the maximum host in this network? That is, how many hosts can we have in this network? How many number of users can use this network? Let's go. To get that is very easy. What you need is what? You need 3 hosts at maximum. But here, how many hosts do you have in /128? Just copy the IP address and take it out. Control C. Control V. /128, how many hosts do you have? You only have 1 host because the total length is what? 128 bits. The total length of our IP address is 128 bits. So that means that 128 minus 128, that is zeros, which means you only have what? A single network. So 128, oh, you only have 1 host. So I cannot get 3 hosts. All I have to do is what? Let me take 127. That is 128 minus 127. How many hosts will I have in this network? Here I have what? I have 1 host. Oh, do I need it? I need 3 hosts. Here I have 1. To know the number of hosts I actually need, here I have 1. Okay. To get the number of hosts is what? 2 raised to power 1. 2 raised to power 1, which give us 2. Which means if I use /27, the maximum host I can now have is what? Maximum host. Host is equal to what? Is equal to 2. That is if I use /27. And this will give me what? /127. Only give me a maximum number of hosts. But the question said I need 3 hosts, which means I can use /27, 127. So let me use 126 and see what I get. 126, 26. That would be 1/126. That would be 128 minus 126. That gives me 2. 2 raised to the power of 2. That gives me what? 2 raised to the power of 2 will give me 4. So which means that in 128, I can have a host. I can have host, maximum host equals to what? Equals to 4. In 126, I can have maximum host of 4. Yes. No, that means, let me not go back to the question. How many hosts do I actually need the question? The question said 3 maximum users and only maximum users. So, which means the lowest I can ever get is what? I can have maximum user of 4. So, which means this is the best prefix to use with this IP address. So, the next question is, will I just change 128 to 126? No. What you have to do next is, we've gotten the right prefix, which is 126. So the next thing now will be, take the IP address that you copied. Copy this IP address. Ctrl+C, paste it. This is for 128. You want to take it to 126. What you have to do is, when you minus 126 from 128, what do you have? You have 2 bits. Because this 128 bits minus 126 bits give you 2 bits. Come back to this side, remove 2 bits from here. And I told you that a single digit of IPv6 address is 4 bits with 1 number. So this is 4. 4 here is more than 2, is more than what? 2 bits. So what you have to do is what? Remove 2 from this 4. That give you what? That give you 2/126. So which means that this is your network address. Question answer. Question number 1, find the network ID. This is your network ID. Find the address range. Address range. Note, in IPv6 address, there's nothing like invalid address like IPv4. In IPv4, we have network address is invalid, broadcast is invalid. You can't use it. But in IPv6, all addresses are valid. So what you have to do is, when I say address range, my address range will be ranging from where? We'll be ranging from, since it's 4 maximum hosts that I'm getting this network, that means it will be ranging from this name network ID range from this address, Ctrl+V, to the same address, Ctrl+V. This is 4, right? That is 2 is number 1, 3, 4, 5 to 5. That is the maximum IP range, which means that this will be my first IP address. If I'm to configure this on a router, /26, this will be my last IP address. And anytime you are using /26 on your IPv6, it simply means that that network can only accommodate 4 maximum users. So which means we've answered the question here. I just posted here. So now, if you go to the next one, what about if I need 100 users? Oh, so sorry, even the IP address I copy is not even copied. Look, I copy from Cave. Please complete it. Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. That was a mistake, sorry. So now you get the maximum number of hosts. So which means now, what I want to do now is, I want to write each prefix from 128 to 64 and tell you the maximum number of hosts you can use. With this, if you have a project, probably you need a cluster of maybe you need a cluster node. Maybe you need 1,000, or you need 2,000 nodes. You are given a 2,000 nodes, and you are given a cluster. Or you were told that in each cluster, you want you to subnet it so that in each cluster you don't accommodate more than probably 100 or 50. Or how many clusters can you actually divide based on host specification? I will explain to you how to do that. And this is exactly how to do it, because a cluster comprises of nodes, and a node is the same thing as hosts. So if a cluster should be 100, that means you need to have a what? You need to look for a subnet mask, a subnet prefix that can hold up to 100 IP addresses. So if you need a cluster of 100 nodes, and you are giving that cluster a prefix of 64, that is too outrageous, because you'll be having millions of wasted IP addresses. Millions. So that's why subnetting is very important. And that's why it's very good for you to know how to deduce your IP address and get the right one. So here, this is the range, IP range. So now, what about if I want to subnet this using the same IPv6 that I'm having here, using the same 120 bits? If I want to copy this 120-bit addresses now, okay, if I want to copy this 120-bit addresses now, sorry, there's an error here. Let me complete that one. So, oh, okay. So if I want to do for, using the same IP address, if I want to do for /125/123/100, you yourself can choose to do the rest. So I will just move to /68/67/66//65 and /64. So here, using the same method that I explained here, use it to get only the maximum host in the network. Now, using this IP address /128, get the number of hosts in the network listed below. Let me just put it here. Example 2. Example 2. Using the IP address, IPv6 address below, comma, find the total IPv6 address in the network given, in the network network below. This is another question I just formulated. Using IPv6 address below, using IPv6 address, this IPv6 address /128, find the total IPv6 address in the subnetwork below, in each subnetwork, in each subnetwork below. The first one is 128, 125. What do you have to do? All you have to do, don't be panic. If this one is 125, come back here. Just choose 128 minus 128 is the total IPv6 bits minus 125. That gives us what? That's equal to, that gives us 3. 2 raised to power, if this one gives us 3, 2 raised to power of 3, 2 raised to power of 3, that gives us, let me take my calculator. 2 raised to the power of 3. That gives us 8. So which means that in slash 25, the maximum post we can get is what? Is 8. 8. So now what is now going to be your network address? Network address will be what? Paste it. Sorry, what's now going to be your network address? Just copy it. Copy only the IP. The network address in slash 25 now will be what? If this one is what? 8. But when you minus 25 from 128, give us 3. What you have to do is, if this one is 3, that is 3 bits. I need to come back here and check. Each one of these digits is 4 bits. Now I'm having 3 bits, which is not even enough to eradicate this one. 3 minus 4, that gives me 1. So here will be what? Here will be 1 slash 125. This is network address. Let's go to 124. 128 minus 124, that gives us 4. 2 raised to the power of 4, that gives us 16, which means that in this one, the maximum host we can ever get host equals to what? Equal to 16. Now, what is the network address? Paste it. 16. If this one is 16, when you move 124 plus 1 from 128, it gives us 4 bits. 4 bits. Remove 4 bits from here. This will be what? 0, because it's already 4. So here you got to what? Here it's going to be 0 slash 124. So the next one will be 123. Under 123, that will be 1 slash 123. 123 minus 128. That 128 minus 123, sorry. That gives us 5 bits. That gives us 5 bits. 2 raised to the power of 5. If you 2 raised to the power of 5, give us the maximum host. Maximum host. So 2 raised to the power of 5 give us 32. Equals to 32. Now, to get the network bits of this network, it's just what? This one is what? How many bits is this? This 5 bits. 5 bits minus 128 bits. Because the length of this one is 120 bits. If you remove 5 bits, this is already 4 bits. If 4 bits make a digit, this will be 0. But it's 5 bits, it still remains 1. Minus that 1 from here, that gives us 2. Slash 123. Let's go to 100. The same thing for 100. 128 minus 100, we have 28 left. That gives us 128 minus 100, that gives us 28 bits. What is the maximum host? That will be 128 raised to the power of, that is 2 raised to the power of what? 128. No, sorry, 2 raised to the power 28. That gives us what? Maximum host. Maximum host equals to 2 raised to the power of 28. Take my calculator. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. That figure is too high. That means I'll be having 2, let me just copy, if possible. That means I'll be having 268,433,000 456 hosts if I'm using /100. Can you see how big it was? So now, what is not going to be my network address of this /100? Let's see it. So, copy the initial network. We are still using the network of /28. Please don't forget that. Copy the initial network. How many bits do I have in 100? I'm having 28 bits. Remove 28 bits from 128 bits. This one is what? 16 bits. Change it to 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is 16 bits, but it's not up to 30. This one is 4 bits. I already have 16. 16 plus 4. Change this one to 0. I already have that 20 bits. 24 bits. Change it to 0. I already have 24 bits. Remove 3. But this 3, here is what? 16. This 24. And here is what? And the total bits here is 28. How many bits do I need? I need 4 bits, right? Change this one to what? Change this one to 0. To 0. Because the value here is already what? 0. You don't need that. So what we are mostly concerned is take this one. You can just highlight it from here. Let me change the color. Exactly. Host bits to 0. So which means that the one we're calculating here is 16 bits plus this one is 12. 12 plus 16, that gives me 28. That's why I'm having 28 bits. But this one is what is the network address, which means the host value is beginning from here, not from here. That's what that one is. So let's go to /64. Now the question is, can you see that /100? Look at the millions of IP addresses you are having in /100 alone. It's too many. So what about if I just need, assume I'm having, I'm giving a node, 2,000 nodes. And now they want me to divide this 2,000 nodes into a cluster. So I choose to say, oh, if I want to divide this 2,000 nodes into 10 clusters, that means in each cluster, I must have 200 nodes. What subnet mask will I use? Sorry, what subnet prefix will I use for ipv6? I just need 200 because in this cluster should be 200. 200 multiplied by 10 give me 2,000. So the total node given to me is 2,000 nodes. Now I want to divide this 2,000 nodes into clusters. So what prefix will I use? The right prefix to use to that is what? Is slash. You begin. This, if 128 give you how many hosts? 60 hosts. I need 200. It's not up to 200. What about if I use /120? Let's go. /121. Let's go for 121. /121. 121. Give you how many hosts? Following the same IP addresses that we have here. /121. That will be 120 minus 121. That is 7. 120 minus 121. That is 7. That means I'm having what? 7 bits. 7 bits. Right? 2 raised to the power of 7. That gives me what? 128. Maximum host. Maximum host equals to what? 128. Which means if I'm using /21, I'll be having a maximum host of 128. No, but the host I need per cluster, the node I need per cluster is 200. So which means this one is not enough. What about, let me use /120. /120. Here, if I remove 120 from 128, I'll be having 8 bits. 8 bits. Maximum host equals to 2 raised to the power of 8, 256. Oh, this one is very, I need just more 200, and I have 256. Is this the best subnet mask to use? Yes, because here you've reduced wasted IP address and also have extra 50 address for future reference. In case you want to upgrade your network, you can use the 50 for it. So this is the best subnet prefix to use, /120, if you're actually looking for 100 hosts. So let me solve the last one before we call it a day on IP addresses. So here, I assume that here you should be able to solve this yourself. You should be able to solve this yourself. And this yourself. So I will go for /64. On /64, and I'm still using the same IP address of /128. I want to get the IP address of 128 from 64. No, of 64 from this 128. Let me paste it here. This 128. Now I need /64 from this IP address. What do I need to do? 64 plus 128 minus 64. That gives me 64 bits. Remove 64 bits from this 128 bits. Here we change to 0. All you have to do is to copy. Paste. Sorry. I didn't copy the address copy. Please forgive me for that. Yes. So here now, the first one is 64. 128 minus 64 give me 64 bits. So first remove this 16 bits, change to 0. Remove this 16 bits, change to 0. Remove this 16 bits, change to 0. Is it up to 64? No. Remove this 16 bits, change it to 0. That's clear. Here now we now have 4 zeros, 64. Here. So for /64, this is it. Here is your network, here is your host. When you have this kind of network, what do you need to do? You need to summarize. You need to aggregate. Because this network can be aggregated. You have a leading zeros here. So what are you going to do if you aggregate it? You're just going to have 2001 from DBH column CAFE column /64. Can you see this long address? I have abbreviated it. This is it now. We now have /64 because the first rule stated that remove the leading zero. This is the leading zero. The second rule stated that anywhere you have a long prefix of zeros, replace it by what? Double colon. And here I'm having a long zeros. I remove it and I replace it by double colon. That is all. This /64. So, guys, now I will explain how to configure this network. Then in my next video, I'll give you the tutorial of the network. The IP address we have here is the same IP address I just subnetted and abbreviated, which I have here. 200 DBH KF/64. Go to my packet tracer. 0 DBH/64 network, .0. Here is .1, which is an IP address of this interface. Now, this IP address, ipv6 address, and ipv4 address configure onto this network interface. How to do that? Let me try if I can do that before time goes. In my next video, I will explain details on how to do that. Okay. So how you have to do is to click on the router. Look at the gigabit of the router. Click on this router. Click on CLI. Come here. Anything you configured, you can check it to see if it's right or you're wrong. If you want to configure ipv6 on this router, just click on the router. Now I'm inside the router now. The first thing is what? Enter your privilege mode of your router. And to do that, type enable. You are now inside the privilege mode. Enter your global configuration mode. Configure terminal. You are now inside the configuration terminal of your router. In this router, we have G0/0 interface. Just type interface G0/0. You are not inside this interface. What do you want to put there? You are just told to put these IP addresses. Just say ipv6 v6 address. What is the address? 2001 colon bbh colon 8th colon 1/64. Sorry. IPv6 address 200 dbh colon 1. Sorry. Colon 1 because it's abbreviated. IPv6 address. That's it. Immediately I click on it, it shows that no, I've input an IPv6 address on this interface of the router. 64. So the next thing now is enable the interface by typing what? Not short. Immediately I type it, it automatically comes up. And the next, on that same interface, you still need to configure IPv4. I want to show, later I will explain to you reason why I'm configuring both IPv4 and IPv6 on a single interface of the router. Just type IP address 172.16.10.1 with your subnet mask 255.255.255. Sorry, 255. You are having /16 /26. /26 is what? 192. Later I will explain to you in my next video how to subnet IPv4. So short to enable the interface. On that interface now, you've configured both IPv6 and IPv4 on that interface. So let's go to the next interface and configure. That's it. The next interface is G0. If this one is G0/0, this one will be G0/1. Interface gigabit 0/0. IPv6 address. Yeah, sorry. 0/1. IPv6 address. My IPv6 address is cape.2. That is second subnet. Second subnet /64. Sorry. If IP address is overlapping with 10.10.cape/64 network on gigabit 0/02. Okay. IP address 20b0 cape/64 on this network. The next thing we are going to do now is do show run to see my running configuration on my router. IP 0/0, I have one network. 0/2, I have no network. So which means to enable that, oh, I'm running out of time. Hello guys, please subscribe to my channel. In the next video, I will explain. I'm out of time. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to share and subscribe to my channel.